Hi class, today we are going to be using the new formula SOH in order to solve for missing angles. So what I did over here is I rewrote the formula for you. So SOH stands for, the first one, SO, is this one right here. So that means sine, which is the S. So sine is opposite over hypotenuse. Opposite over hypotenuse. The second one, CAH, is for this formula. So the C stands for cosine, and it's adjacent over hypotenuse, which is why we have adjacent over hypotenuse. The last one is TOA, and that goes with this formula. So the T stands for tan, and then it's opposite over adjacent, which is why we have opposite over adjacent. So now we're going to go through and we're going to solve for this equation. It says solve for angle A, so angle A is right here. So the first thing you have to do is label the triangle. So if this is the angle A, we know that if you draw a line from this angle straight out here, you go to that 18, this side right here is called the opposite because it is opposite of angle A. The next side, we know if we go from the 90 degree in the corner straight out, this longest side is known as our hypotenuse. That means we have one side left, that's side right over here. We know the opposite and hypotenuse, that means that this side right here is the adjacent. So in order to solve this triangle, we have to figure out which one of these formulas do we have to use. So what you do there is we look at the numbers the equation has already given us. If we look here, they have given us 23. So we know that the hypotenuse is 23. So we're going to be using a formula that has the hypotenuse. And then if we look over here, this formula has given us an 18. So that means we are also going to be using the opposite. This question gave nothing about the length of the adjacent side. So that means when we look at the formulas, we don't need anything that uses the adjacent. So over here, if we look, cosine uses the adjacent, tan uses the adjacent, right? Because they're right here. But sine does not use adjacent. They use opposite and hypotenuse. And look at that. We have the hypotenuse and we have the opposite. So we're going to be using this winning formula right there. So I'm going to write this down for you. So sine A, because they're asking us to solve for the angle A. So sine A equals opposite over hypotenuse. Next step, we're going to fill in what we know. So sine A stays the same, but the opposite we know is 18. So we're going to fill in an 18. And then we know that the hypotenuse is 23. So divided by 23. This next part is when we start getting into using the different calculators. So your calculator can do this in one step. You just have to remember if your calculator was forward thinking or backwards thinking. So my forward thinkers, or thinking calculators, sorry, you are going to type in second function sine. So what it's going to look like once you type that in, it's going to look like sine to the -1. So your forward calculator users, second function sine, it's going to look like this, and then you're going to have a bracket that opens up in the calculator, and you're going to take 18, divide it by 23, and you might have to hit equals, or it might already pop up for you, and you will get 51.5. Okay, we can round that to 52 degrees. If you are a backwards calculator, what you're going to do is you are going to put in your calculator 18 divided by 23, get that answer, and it's a long one. I believe it's 0.7826088696, okay? Don't worry about that. Just use that answer. And then you are going to hit second function sign. Okay, so you're going to have 18 divided by 23. And then you're going to type in that second function sign. And it will pop up 51.5. And then you can also round that one to the same 52 degrees. Okay, I will try my best to keep explaining things, but watch this one over a couple times just in case you missed a step. And once again, if you're still having trouble, feel free to email me and I'll try to explain it again. Thank you. Bye.